Hey, what's up guys? It's Frantic. Today we are going to be making the first video in a series of guide videos that I've been wanting to make for a pretty long time now. When I first started playing this game, I didn't really know how to use the preset tool very well that Tarkov has in it. And until I finally learned how to use that, I didn't really know how to build guns, so I always went directly to YouTube to try to find SR-25 best build or SVDS best build. So today I'm going to be showing you how to mod the SR-25 to how I like it. Now this may not be the lowest recoil build out there, it may not be the best build on the internet, but this is my favorite build and it's never let me down. By far one of the nicest builds on the internet that I've seen. And you can swap some of these parts out that I have, like you don't need the flare thermal scope. You can use something else like a Valday or something if you can't afford the thermal scope or if you just don't like using thermals. But this is a stock SR-25 that we have here. So this is all the parts that you're going to get when you buy an SR-25 or you kill someone that has a stock one or you find one somewhere on the map. As you can see, 51 ergonomics, 154 vertical recoil, and 331 horizontal recoil. So that's pretty high vertical and horizontal. It's not too bad since it's a semi-automatic sniper rifle. You know, it's not that bad since you're not going to be just popping off rounds, but I like using the SR-25 kind of like an SKS where I can either use it for long range or with the canted sight that I put on it, I can use it for close range. So let's get right into the build. First off, this is the stock one, and this is the one I'm going to be putting all these parts back onto. You can do this in any order, but I'm just going to show you how I have the parts listed here. So for the canted sight, you're going to need an NC Star MPR-45 backup mount. You can just throw that right on. And then the scope for that backup mount is going to be the PK06. Now there are other adapters you can put on to get other canted sights, but this is by far the best one that I've found so far, and this is the one that you're going to see most people using. Then for the grip, you're going to want to use an HK Ergo PSG-1, high in ergonomics, and that's just an overall good grip. And then for the buffer tube, now you could swap this out. If you wanted to spend a little bit more money, you could get the anodized red version of this, which will give you a little bit more ergonomics and recoil control, but it's like triple the price, so I just ended up going with this one. It works just as well. And then for the stock, the MOE carbine stock with the rubber butt pad, the Magpul rubber butt pad. So you throw those on there. As for the charging handle, we're going to use the KC ambidextrous charging handle for the AR-10. And then these are the front sights that come on the gun. And then we have a couple different types of guides here, mount guides that you can put on. Really, you don't need these two. I just put them on because I have OCD and I like having all the slots filled, and you don't need to have these two if you don't want to spend the extra money. It doesn't affect the ergonomics or recoil control or anything like that. So you're going to need a 2.5-inch guide, Magpul M-Lock guide. You throw that on, and then a 4.1-inch Magpul M-Lock guide. And then the laser I use, now you can use any laser or flashlight combination, but I use the NC Star Tactical Blue laser. Throw that on. For the foregrip, we'll be using the Fortis Shift Tactical Grip. By far one of the best grips in the game right now. A lot of people don't use it for some reason, but it has some of the best ergonomics and recoil control. For the suppressor, the KAC PRS QDC. And then this is just the scope that I put on it, the FLIR thermal scope. You don't have to use that because it is kind of pricey. I can see why people, it's about 120K per scope, so if you don't have the extra money to spend, obviously you can swap it out for something else a little cheaper, like a Valday or something else. And then for the mag, it's just going to be the P-Mag, the 20 round, just because I do use this up close at certain points, so this is the build. Okay. Now let's compare the recoil to a stock one. This is the stock one over here. So once again, you got 51 ergonomics compared to 69 ergonomics on my build. Sighting range of 300 because there's no scope on it to 500 on mine. Vertical recoil at 154 down to 122. And this is where the big recoil difference. 331 horizontal recoil on the stock to 762 or 262 horizontal recoil on my build. So, and the muzzle velocity goes up just a tiny bit, not a whole lot. and that's because of the suppressor, but not a whole lot. So definitely my favorite gun to be using right now besides the AS Val, if you are looking for something long range. And like I said, you could swap some parts out if you can't afford it. There are a couple different stocks that you could use, but this is definitely the best build that I've come across so far. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I'll try to answer everyone. If you have any suggestions of how I can make this better, if there's any parts that you notice that have better recoil or ergonomics that I could swap out, let me know, and I'll definitely be open to suggestions and maybe editing the video to reflect that in the future. Other than that, thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.